Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Buddha Affirmation. Here every story has a purpose and every lesson is meant to help you grow in a life. So let's dive into a new story that will teach you how to overcome sexual thoughts. So let's start the story. Once upon a time, a prince from a large kingdom renounced his royal palace and everything he had to join the Buddhist community. In the early days, new monks learned meditation and, alongside Gautam Buddha, sent them to ask for alms so that their pride would diminish and their behavior would become more humble. After some time in that group, the prince also began to go out to ask for alms. In the beginning, everything was fine, but after a few days, an incident occurred that made the prince agitated and he refused to go out to ask for alms. According to Buddha's rule, monks only ask for alms from two households, and if they don't receive any, they return to monastery and drink water. One day, the prince monk went to town to ask for alms but received no support. At first, felt disappointed, but after a while, his mind became calm. It was as if nothing had happened. Effortlessly, he felt very pleased. He returned to Gautam Buddha and said, "Today I did not receive any alms, but my mind is calm and no thought disturbed me." Gautam Buddha understood all the monks' feeling and said, "Good. Now tomorrow go and ask for alms toward the palace." The monk followed the instruction and set out the next day to ask for alms. After a short while, as he passed by the palace, he remembered how he used to live a life of luxury and comfort there. He thought, at the palace there are a delicious food, many servants to serve, and all kind of comfort. As he thought this, desire arose in his mind that he too would like to have good food today. But then the monk reminded himself, "These are all memory of past, and I am just observing them. The fresh memory of the past bring up some desire. I am also just observing them." And he thought that if I get greedy to fulfill this physical desire, I will lose my mental peace and awaken state. The monk realized that whenever we take a couple of steps forward and try to elevate the level of consciousness, the mind play such a game that when we start to calm the mind, it tries its best to disturb us. The monk was very happy thinking this because today he had gained a deep understanding about the mind through self-reflection. He returned to monastery and told Gautam Buddha everything. "Master, today with your grace, I have gained subtle insight. The mind keeps trying to entangle us in desire repeatedly. Seeing the palace reminded me of old pleasure, but today thought did not touch me." Gautam Buddha said, "Good. Tomorrow go to the southern direction in the town. Go and give teaching about the mind and thought." The monk was very happy and quickly set out because he was going to give teachings. But friends, this journey was going to be difficult for the monk. After a short while, the monk reached the mansion and called out for alms. Hearing his voice, a beautiful young woman came out. The monk thought, "I must not let any thought arise in my mind by seeing this woman's beauty, because my purpose here is to give her teachings." The woman greeted the monk and said, "Please have some food first." The monk ate. Then he thought it would have been good to rest a bite before starting to give teachings. The monk was just thinking this when the woman said, "Sir, you just ate. Now please rest a little before starting your teaching." Upon hearing this, the monk became alert, sensing that she was doing this without saying anything. The woman was doing all this without mentioning it. The monk thought, "This is just a coincidence. Here, people rest after eating." So, the monk went to rest and started thinking how wise this woman is and how unparalleled her beauty is. If I were prince, I would marry such a woman. These thoughts were running through the monk's mind. when the woman came again and said, "If you were a prince, how would you give me teaching? You came to give me teaching, did not you?" Upon hearing this, the monk realized that the woman could read his mind. He panicked and joined his hand, asking, "Can you read my mind?" The woman said, "Sorry, while meditating, my mind became calm. Therefore, I easily feel others' thoughts and understand their emotion." When the monk heard this, he got frightened. Without saying anything, the monk immediately rushed back to the monastery. While walking back, the monk's mind was spinning. His restlessness increased. The monk began to scold himself. Why are such a thought about the woman arising in my mind? What would she think of me? If people knew about this, what would they think of monks and our community? Today, the monks felt very ashamed, and he reached the monastery shortly. When the monk approached the Gautam Buddha, Buddha saw that the monk's face had lost its brightness and both shoulders were down. The monk said to the Gautam Buddha, "Now I will never go to ask for alms again." Buddha said, "First, sit down comfortably, then tell me why you seem so tired. Why do you have a feeling of unease instead of radiance on your face today?" The monk told everything and said, "Even though I knew everything, I was still thinking about the woman's beauty and other things. I completely lost my mind. Now I can never go in that direction. I have greatly dishonored the Buddhist community." Gautam Buddha said, "The first thing, don't exaggerate your worries. If something bad happens, do not immediately think that everything is over. Do not jump to conclusion without thinking. The second thing, pay attention to whether you are using exaggerated words with negative thought such as, 'I always lost. There is nothing left in my life. I have completely lost my mind. No one is with me,' because doing so makes the mind overly emotional and disturbed, and it gets caught in a cycle of negative thoughts." With Buddha's word, the monk's mind found some peace. The monk asked, "If I thought I had conquered my mind, why did the mind still trouble me?" Gautam Buddha said, "First understand how thought arise. First, something happen outside. Then your inner mind react to that event. Because of this, feeling or sensation arise in the body. Then your conscious mind react to this sensation or feeling. We call this last step a thought." The monk asked, "Where does the power come from that makes thought disturb us?" Gautam Buddha said, "We ourselves give this power to our thought. When you look at thought by tagging them with judgment, like right or wrong, you start reacting to them. Along with one thought, other thought begin to arise. As long as you judge yourself, the mind will continue to dominate by making you feel inferior." The monk asked, "Then how can the mind be calm?" Gautam Buddha said, "If there are thoughts, there will be feeling in the body, because every thought arises with feeling. If you are having impure thought, it means that there are also sensation or feeling in the body. Then you are thinking or reacting to them. The way to calm the mind lies in this. It is difficult to watch every thought because thought comes rapidly, but observing the feeling or sensation in the body is easier because they last longer. If you watch them without judgment, without labeling them as right or wrong, they disappear. Then the peace behind the mind is revealed, and in that peace, you realize that the mind cannot harm us. How our inner self is healed is through non-judgment. If we watch any person, event, or even our own mind without judgment, both the mind and the inner self begin to heal and become peaceful on their own. If you had merely seen that the thought about this woman are just reaction of your inner mind, and that you are merely observing them and saying, "My mind is busy, but I am aware of my breathing, I am watching the reaction happening in my body," then you would consciously return to the witnessing state. The peace behind the mind is our greatest strength. We can easily calm our thoughts and one day realize that No kind of thought or worry can actually surpass this peace. We are always untouched by thought. Gautam Buddha says, remember, thoughts belongs to you, not the other way around. You are always more powerful than your thoughts. Now you will go to the woman's house to ask for alms for next 7 days. And remember not to judge your thoughts. Good and bad thoughts only tap at your door. Just remember that you are the peace in which everything is manifesting. The next day, the monk, fully awake, felt a bite in his chest before going to woman's house, but he remained in the witnessing state, just observing thoughts, sensation, fear and guilt as they arose in the body. When he returned, he was completely calm, and he said, "Today I have conquered my mind. There was no ego. Today I have truly transcended the mind." Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video, hit like button. And for more such stories, subscribe to our channel. Thank you and stay positive.